Hi guys, welcome back to Halftime Report. It's a quiet market. Of course, we've come up from the day's high, so you would have made money if you had shorted at the start of trade. But still, it gives us some time to sort of ponder over larger issues. The one thing that I want to chat about is the auto sales in November. The sales were quite dull this time around. In fact, just to take you through, how the numbers have been, there's a big slowdown that we've seen in commercial vehicle sales this time. Tata Motors, M&M have both reported a 20% plus drop in commercial vehicle sales. Tata Motors said that the small operators' profitability was also impacted because of reduced freight rates. They said a drop in cargo sales was seen as operators have postponed their purchases because of low consumer sentiment. You also saw Ashok Leyland report a 9% fall in CV sales this time. It's the lowest sales that Ashok Leyland has seen since April of 2018. Even for Maruti, growth rates have slowed down. In fact, the sales have fallen in the month of November by about 0.7%, a slowdown visible in exports and the mini car segment. And two-wheeler companies like Hero MotoCorp have also struggled to grow in the month of November. But all is not lost. There were some silver linings this time around. Escorts, for one, has reported very strong tractor growth. About a 56% growth is what they've seen this time. And the three-month average for Escorts is now 31,000 units versus 19,900 in the preceding 3 months. So doing pretty well there. Bajaj Auto sales were very good. 25% growth is what they've seen this time. And TVS Motor was not too bad. So I guess you'd have to say it was a mixed bag by the end of it.
Well, Sonia, that's about the auto sales, but some of these aviation companies, it should have been a good day for them because we have holiday season that's kicking off. You also had the ATF price cut, but suddenly crude oil prices did a U-turn. But what does this mean? This price cut mean for all these aviation companies? Oh,
bang on. I think it's a resurgence of crude because of which these stocks are under pressure. But this ATF price cut is a big positive for them. So the prices have been cut by 11% month on month in December. Now, this is the highest price cut we've seen at least in the last 18 months. I mean, the last price cut that was taken was in October when it was a 2.6% month on month price cut. Before that, there was a price cut way back in April, which was just a 0.3% month on month price cut. So this is massive. And as we know, ATF accounts for 40% of the total operating expenses for airlines. If you look at the three listed airline companies, they reported a combined loss of more than 3,600 crores in the first half of the fiscal, and which means a loss of 20 crores per day. So really, their balance sheets is just getting eroded day after day because of higher prices.
Okay, all right. So let's take both those 2 points forward, and let's talk about the auto sales numbers. First, we have with us Mayur Milak, Senior Research Analyst at India Nivesh, who joins us on the phone line. Hi, Mayur. Thanks so much for joining in today. Well, tell us about the auto sales first. How are you reading this slowdown that we're seeing in the CV sales? They didn't look very, very good. We had a degrowth both in Tata Motors as well as in Mahindra & Mahindra. Your take, is this a temporary phenomenon?
Yeah, so, I think, honestly, we'd like to read this as more of a temporary phenomenon. Any which ways we are going to witness change in emission norms. So that should do get a pre-buying getting soon. Also, the fact that, our channel check suggests that the OEs are right now more inclined in making the gross heavyweight vehicles, because of which there is also a slowdown in the wholesale sales. They are probably, I think that product should really hit the market sometime in this January, February. So we believe that this is more of a temporary slowdown in the CV sales, and we should start seeing good numbers coming back pretty soon.
Okay, so temporary slowdown in CV sales. Mayur, hi, good afternoon. Two-wheelers have done pretty well. Bajaj was in excess of 20%. TVS Motor did well, although Hero was a bit slow. Is that a pocket that you like? And if yes, what would your top buys be there?
So, we overall, we are still a little skeptical about the overall auto pack. We believe that the overall segment might still underperform the broader markets. As far as the two-wheeler goes, while yes, Bajaj has gained significantly in market share and volumes, the fact that if it is selling more of those cheaper bikes and doesn't really add much to the value, doesn't really help much in terms of the value addition. So you might be gaining on volumes, but not really sure whether it really adds anything to their margins. I think TVS, yes, has been doing decently okay, but again, a story of struggle on the margin expansion there too. So while yes, volumes, both of them have reported much better than what Hero has, we still are not pretty sure of whether it really makes thumping buy at these levels for these stocks.
Well, Mayur, maybe around a decade or so ago, in that phase of around 2004 to 2007, we saw a similar situation play out in terms of two-wheelers. They were going for market share and profitability never came about. In that context, do you believe that Bajaj Auto is a buy at current levels? What's the target price out there? And also tell us your reading of the Eicher Motors stock, because there as well there was a miss of closer on 10% in comparison to estimates on Royal Enfield sales.
So, as far as Eicher goes, I think, yes, while their product seems to be doing good, the new launch seems to be pretty exciting. The fact that Mahindra has now come with Java, gives an option to the youth to really look at the product. And having said that, Bajaj also now trying hard to get into that kind of segment. So I think so far last, decade, we've seen that them to be a single monopoly player with the kind of gain they've seen in terms of volumes, right, from 6,000 to almost 60,000. Now I think a serious challenge is the fact that whether they will be able to grow at the same rate or not. And I think that is why you're seeing that pressure on the stock price.
Okay, but that's about autos. What about aviation, Mayur? You think this ATF price cut will come as a relief for the stocks, or once again the resurgence of crude is a worry?
So, yeah, if you honestly look at aviation, while, yes, crude has come off significantly from $85 to 60, the fact that these guys could have got this benefit only starting December, because IOCL usually has a change of rate only on the first of the month. So that entire October and November, they've actually purchased fuel at higher cost. And it is now that they will start reaping the benefits of that slowdown in crude price and, of course, depreciating rupee. So I think while, yes, for the quarter, if I have to really look at, they only get a 1 month advantage. I wouldn't read much into, the change in fuel, because wherever fuel price grow, for December at least, they will get this entire advantage. But having said that, I think the real challenge what really needs to be seen is, while this is the best quarter for them, are they really able to gain on the yields, which normally happens in Q3?
All right, interesting. Mayur, final question from me in terms of the auto space. What would your view be on Maruti? The numbers were a little bit better than what the street was working with. And Ashok Leyland, well, those numbers were a bit of a miss. What's your view on both these two stocks?
So if I have to really talk about Maruti, I'd say, that they are kind of struggling at really getting that 1,70,000 a month. I think getting that 150 kind of number is pretty much okay. But in terms of stock price, yes, I think we've recently seen a strong rally from about 6,600 levels to almost 7,700. Whether this rally sustains is a question mark. Looking at the kind of slowdown that we are witnessing in retail sales, and there is nothing really to back up there. And as far as Ashok Leyland goes, I think the change in top management and the temporary slowdown has kept the price where it is. But I think it becomes a very attractive deal for me at these levels.
Oh, okay. So Ashok Leyland is quite attractive despite the fall that you've seen, because you're anticipating better numbers, is it?
Yes. So we believe that number should come back probably in a month or two.
Okay. And any disclosures on the stocks that you mentioned?
Yeah. So I own none of those.
All right. Mayur, thanks a lot for joining us. So that's a quick take on the auto sales numbers as well as the aviation pack and the triggers there. The markets are falling some more, by the way, so don't lose sight of that. Reliance is a big drag at the moment, so it's down more than 1%. You have others like L&T as well. Remember, these are stocks that have already gained about 15-20% from the lows. So maybe just some money being taken off the table, which is not a bad thing in such an environment. We'll take a break on that note. On the other side, Ashwini Gujral and Prakash Gaba will join in to give us some fresh trading ideas.